Welcome to Synchronicity. I don't have dysentery anymore, which means I'm feeling fucking amazing. You ever get like sick? Sick? Why to say it like that? You ever get sick and then not realize you're sick until you're better? That's basically what. The shitting blood was a tip off. Things might not be so great, but I'm better now, and that's fucking amazing. How was the Lionsgate portal for you? Was it great? Because I feel like a lot of people I knew over the past month were getting like real fucking sick with shit. Jessa was the first I know with the tick thing she had. She hit me up. She's so sweet. She hit me up and she's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm totally good. I got antibiotics. I happened to be in a place and Denise's family went and got me antibiotics, probiotics, and rehydration stuff, and I'm totally fucking good, and it's amazing, and I feel great." And it's like one of those weird things where like you're weirdly grateful for getting sick because then when you're better, you feel so good. So that was nice. Also, recognize like if you're ever going through something, whether it's a physical illness or an emotional illness or something like that, like that's the precursor to transcending it. So if you can always look at things like you're gonna get better, like you know you're gonna get better, and then you get better, it's not so bad. It's like that challenging energy we've spoken about in the past few months, right? You know, when you're about to transcend something, you give yourself a lot of challenges, and that's because you're going to transcend it. Everything is hard until it's not. Okay. All right, let's get into it. I got some stuff written down. We're going to do some thoughts and stuff and tweets, and then we're going to also do some Neville Goddard stuff because he's been on a roll. All right, let's talk about masculine energy and feminine energy. This is a big topic, often misunderstood because people want to make it gender-based, and it's not gender-based. Obviously, it can be gender-based. If you're a man, you may have more masculine energy, but you may not. I, for instance, most of my life had more feminine energy. Doesn't mean that I'm a girl. Does not mean that. Does mean that I cry a lot. I'm like a pro level crier, by the way, like super pro level, like fucking top tier, amazing at it. It's pretty cool. So if you need tips on crying like a pro, hit me up. All right, let's get into it. Masculine energy is objective. It's rational. It's directed, and it's your conscious mind, right? So let's talk about what this means. Let's say you have a desire. Let's talk about desires just for a second too. Do you know that every desire you have, you're meant to experience? Did you know that? You might not know that. You might think, well, that's not that one. No, not that one. That one, no. That can't be right. No. Yeah, the only reason you have them is so you're supposed to achieve them. But if you feel like you can't and you don't have the power to do it, it's going to feel not so great. But really, just anytime you're aware of a desire, it's because you're meant to experience it. Seriously. Or at the very least, you're meant to pursue it, right? Sometimes we want something, and then as we get closer to it, we go, oh, I actually really don't want that. Not as like a self-defeating thing, but just as like, oh, no, I have more awareness that this is something I actually don't want. Totally cool. Totally valid. All right. Masculine energy. Objective. What does this mean? It means when we look out in the world and we look at the facts and we look at the science and we look at these things, we say that is objectively true. This is something we've seen a lot in the political process over the past 4 years, especially with Donald Trump in the United States. People are going, facts matter. Facts matter. Facts are super, well, it's a fact. He's disregarding facts. Facts are real. Facts are not real. Facts are basically just made up things that we agree to believe in, and they're not real. They're not real at all. The only fact that I'm aware that is real is that your consciousness, your awareness, your imagination creates your reality. I guess we could call that a fact. That's the only thing I know is an operative law and mechanism and power. That's it. Other than that, everything is subject to change. Literally, look over the course of history. If you're into history, shit changes all of the time. I'm reading a great book about stars. Astrology and stars. It's like a really detailed exposition of like the genesis of stars and astrology and astronomy, and it's like shit changes. It changes all the time. So masculine energy is objective. It doesn't mean it's bad, it doesn't mean it's wrong. It just means we objectively look out in the world. There's a consensus. We say, okay, that's true. That's masculine energy. Masculine energy is also rational. 2 + 2 = 4, right? This is how things work. This is why things work. This is what we do. We deduce what's going on. We can say, okay, this is what's happening. Things are rational. They make sense. Think Vulcans in Star Trek, right? Very logical, this is how we come up with answers to things. Totally cool. Also totally not that useful a lot of the times. And we'll contrast this with feminine energy in a second. Masculine energy is also directed. This is why it's useful. When we're aware of something, we go, oh, I'm aware of that. I would like that. Or, oh, I wouldn't like that. So we direct our awareness, we direct our consciousness, we direct our imagination towards a particular goal. And that's a function of masculine energy. It's pretty great. Masculine energy really embodied in the tarot by the Emperor card, right? Fourth card, well, really the fifth if you count the Fool, but fourth card, number 4 card in the tarot. Masculine energy, solid, foundational, directed. Masculine energy is also your conscious mind, right? Your mind that is aware of things. We're aware of what's going on. I perceive something, I'm aware of it. That's my masculine mind. That's my masculine energy. Okay. Consciousness is wonderful. Being conscious of things, being aware of things is fantastic. It's also incredibly weak compared to your subconscious or your unconscious, right? That's feminine energy. We're going to go down those in a second, but your conscious mind is like a little teeny sliver of what's actually going on. We know this just from let's look at our friend science. We're filtering out information constantly. It would be overwhelming if we had access to the entire light spectrum, the entire audio spectrum, the entire sensory spectrum. We couldn't navigate this world the way we do. We have to filter things out. We literally dampen the world around us because it would just kind of be chaos all of the time if we didn't do that. So just keep in mind that masculine energy has its function. It's not worse than, it's not lesser than, but in terms of power, generative power, it doesn't do too much. It just is like we get to point our ship in a direction and then we go in that direction. That's the function of masculine energy. Really good to have a healthy balance between your masculine and feminine. And I'll repeat again that when I say balance, I don't mean equal percentages. I don't mean 50-50. That's not what it means. Sometimes we need more masculine energy, right? Driving, it's a really good idea to have a lot of objective, rational, directed, conscious energy. You don't want to crash your car. You don't want to say, well, I'm just going to close my eyes, use my intuition, and hope for the best, and I'll get to my destination. Driving, not the best idea to do that. Navigating this world, if you only rely on feminine energy, you're probably going to be a little crazy sometimes because it's not going to make sense. All right, let's talk about feminine energy. Ooh, I love it. Subjective, right? Different than objective. Subjective is your feelings about something. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? There may be no evidence outside in the external world that gives you any indication that you should be feeling a certain way, right? This is how we home our intuitive psychic energy, right? Subjectively. Wow, I just got a weird voice in my head that doesn't sound like me. Objectively, I know that everything has to be in my head, but subjectively, that could be a dead person. That could be someone in the room who's not communicating with their words, but you're psychically picking up on stuff. It's very subjective, right? This has a lot to do with your intuition, so it's very intuitive, your feminine energy. Intuition is incredibly important. You ever, if you're a guy, you ever been around a bunch of women and it seems like they're just communicating on a different wavelength, like they're just intuitively communicating with each other. And I use this a lot. Sometimes women will talk to each other privately while you're there, and you're like, what's going on? How are they doing this? How are they communicating? It's because intuition is a feminine principle, right? It's just something that naturally, not all women, but women seem to be more in touch with their intuition. As a man, I've always had strong intuition. It took me damn near 30 plus years to really get in touch with that and understand that I can use this and not just get freaked out by it. Because it's a little freaky. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not rational. It's irrational, right? It's not something that, especially, things that are written down and recorded, which is a very masculine thing to do, it doesn't necessarily vibe with that. You may experience something that's completely wrong according to consensus science or consensus objectivity, but it's still real. It's still a thing that goes on. It's your intuition. It's fucking great. Feminine energy is also generative. It's also destructive too, but it's generative. It is actually what creates things in the world. Think about the birthing process. You have an idea, your masculine energy, impregnates your subconscious mind with that idea. It is then birthed into the world. So it is actually the thing that generates reality. This is why it's really important. You'll hear this a lot. Mother Earth, all of these energies. This world is feminine, right? This material world, those are feminine. They're feminine principles that create this world. It's also destructive, right? This is something that freaks a lot of people out. This is why back in the day, where's Jordan Peterson been, by the way? What happened with him? He just got addicted to pills and went away? Poor baby. But a lot of times people give women specifically a hard time because there's this destructive quality as well as the generative quality. And they say, well, that's bad. We don't want destruction. We don't want death. We just did an episode on death and destruction. We don't want that. That's bad. We want things to last forever. And they do. There's an aspect of you that does last forever, but also we have to destroy aspects of ourselves too. We have to destroy things. When we see explosions, when we see wars, when we see things that look really destructive and bad and chaotic, we go, oh no, we don't want that. That's bad. We don't want that in our lives. But it's very important. It's very important to recognize that a destructive process, I just did a whole episode on it. I don't really need to recap it, do I? But it is an important process, but it's also the generative process. It's the thing that gives birth to ideas into reality. Therefore, we love that feminine energy. It's also subconscious / unconscious. You don't have full access to your feminine energy. You have full access on one level, but not consciously. It's below the threshold of your consciousness. So that's important because sometimes we want to understand exactly how things work. In the Patreon, we had some questions about, how do you get in touch with spirits? How do you get in touch with guides? How do you get in touch with aliens? And the fact is, you have to drop aspects of your conscious mind. Some people do this with drugs. Some people do this with meditation. Some people do this with a variety of different modalities that get them in touch with the part of their mind that's just below the surface. But recognize whenever you shine direct light on it completely, it moves from the subconscious to the conscious, right? And that's cool. That's great. But there's always going to be the vast majority of what our reality is below the threshold of our awareness. We can listen to people, we can learn things, we can go inside and figure out what's going on with us, but just get comfortable with the fact that you don't know what the fuck is going on. That's super important. Listen, I'm the type of person who really likes to know what's going on most of the time. The more comfortable I've got with the feeling of knowing that I don't know what's going on all of the time, the better things have worked out. Paradoxically, you have way more power like that, right? It's a much more powerful position to be in, to recognize you don't know everything consciously. You can't know all the facts, all the information, all of the data. It's just not possible. So if you do that, if you accept that, it's just going to get smoother for you. Does this mean that everything is chaos and you can never know what's going on? Absolutely not. In fact, it's the opposite. When you balance your masculine and feminine energy, when you balance your masculine and feminine energy, you're literally building a bridge between the two. That bridge allows you to travel back and forth, build up a healthy strength. Jesus, I can't talk today, guys. What the fuck is going on? You build up a strong connection between the two aspects of your mind, your conscious and your subconscious. That's really helpful. That's really good because this allows us to step into the power that we really are creating our experience. We really are creating this reality, right? This aspect of this world, what Jessica calls the matrix, this is our own creation. This is our own narrative that we have developed to show us who we are. You know who we are? We're everything. We're limitless beings of endless compassion and grace and harmony. We discover that. We play a game of hide and seek with ourselves throughout our lives to continuously show us that. The more out of resonance with that idea, that reality we are, the more difficult our subjective experience is because we're basically denying a huge aspect of who we are and what we're here to do. So we don't want to do that. We want to honor who we are. And we do that by building this bridge between what we're aware of, what we desire, and then recognizing we have the inherent power and creative power, generative power to do that. Recognize that generative power is always feminine in nature. It is below our threshold of consciousness. Accept that. That's why we see a lot of like the incels. I know that was a meme more like a year or so ago, but like this misdirected rage at women, which continues, as the patriarchy continues to erode and we see kind of the systems that have been created, they kind of fall apart. We see kind of more of a resistance to the natural destructive and generative power of the feminine because it's scary. If your whole life has been built on facts, information, things like that, and those facts and information begin to crumble, you have to quickly play this game of like figuring out how to rebuild everything. And that's where people really start to act like fucking idiots. That's the only way I could say it. Speaking of fucking idiots, listen, I try to get meta about this so I don't get caught up in the energy that I'm basically making fun of. But Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, if you're excited about either of those two people running the United States, just G-check yourself. Like, what are you doing? How do you know who these people are? Do you know what they stand for? Do you know that they're just reinforcing really fucked up systems? I understand a lot of people don't like Donald Trump. He's uncouth. He's not cool. He can be mean. He can be a bully. He can do dumb things. But to think that your savior is Joe fucking Biden, Jesus Christ, guys, just don't do that. It's not worth it. It's just like, you can vote for him. You can do what you need to do. But like, come on. Like, really? Like, look at him. Just look at him. Look what he stands for. Go look at his history. He's just like, I don't know. I don't want to get too into the political stuff, but like, Trump is just out there as an asshole. He's consistently who he is. He doesn't really hide any aspect of his personality. And to me, that's respectable. I don't have to agree with the majority of what he says and his actions and all of this other stuff, but there's something admirable and respectable about someone just being who they are. Joe Biden will be whoever you want him to be, and he will mercilessly just steal from people, do fucked up things to support his position. All he cares about is being president. I do believe that Donald Trump actually, no matter how warped and twisted his perspective is, wants to make the United States a better country. We may not agree with the ways that he does it, but I don't know. Just don't get excited about Joe Biden is all I can say. Like, love him as a being who's an aspect of you, but like, Jesus, you don't need to invite him to a fucking party. You know what I mean? All right. Awareness, also known as consciousness, also known as your imagination, creates reality. So maybe it's time to realize your infinite capacity for healing, grace, love, and whatever other cool shit you're into. Like, realize it. You have an infinite capacity for healing, grace, and love, and whatever else you want to do, because your awareness is literally what is creating things, right? It is the generative power we're talking about. That awareness, that masculine combined with feminine energy, creates your reality. So if you're focusing on things that you don't want to be focusing on, take control of that. Just say, you know what? I think I'd rather direct my awareness somewhere else. If you're getting on Twitter, if you're getting on social media and getting swayed by other people constantly, do you want to be doing that? Is that something you're into? What if you could be like a healer? What if you could heal your own self, your inner child? What if you could heal people around you? That seems like a worthy pursuit for me, not focusing on silly, goofy things that have no bearing on your life. Now, silly, goofy things, if they're TikTok, that's fantastic. Focus on that. I think it's the best thing ever. It's really inner child work. That's what TikTok is. It's just like shit that makes you laugh, shit that makes you feel. It's good stuff. Don't shit on TikTok. And you were saying, well, when Donald Trump wants to shut down, I don't know what the fuck he wants. I don't care. TikTok, use a VPN. It's fine. All right. Here's a quote that I had never heard before. I got it from a Kanye West song, and then I found out it was from the Bible. It's a Peter quote, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Bible stuff, everyone's favorite topic, Bible stuff, from a Jew who was barely a Jew and doesn't understand most of this stuff from its, historical roots. But I do understand how to interpret the Bible. It's really easy. Do you know how to interpret the Bible? Do you know how to interpret any religious or philosophical work? Anytime you read about a character, it's you. When they're talking about God, it's you. When they're talking about him, it's you. When they're talking about Jesus, it's you. When they're talking about Judas, it's you. They're all you. Go back to the 12 Disciples episode for a recap on a very kind of deep dive into how to interpret biblical scripture. Also, I just put seasons in, starting with last year. Season 13 is where we started it. So now there are season numbers and episode numbers from there. So you should see that on your Apple Podcasts app in the near future. So it'll be a little bit easier to navigate. I also went back and changed some titles. So there should be, I think, 6 Imaginal Techniques episodes. I went and changed the titles to make it easier to find them. For people asking me, various questions about techniques, it's all been covered, right? There's a ton of stuff. There's jumping into God energy, jumping into animal energy. There's a whole stuff, revision techniques, future techniques, all this stuff. It's all there. So you can go find that. The 12 Disciples episode, I believe, is season 14 or 15. Okay. Here's the quote, the Bible quote. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Be sober-minded and alert. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion seeking someone to devour. All right, we're going to talk about this quote. So when we read the word him, it's not this bearded guy in the sky. It's not this guy named Jesus who's like, I'm Jesus, I'm cooler than you, and I'm going to help your shit out. No, not at all. Him is your imagination. It's your consciousness. It's your awareness. It's who you really are. So when it says cast all your anxiety on him, send your anxiety to the higher version of yourself, to your power, to your imagination. Is the anxiety trying to show you something? Is it trying to reveal something to you? Or is it just a useless distortion that's really not there to serve you, but you just kind of bought into it so it keeps popping up? I don't know. You tell me. But what you can do is cast all your anxiety on your consciousness and know you have the power to deal with it. If you feel like you can't, if you feel like you're a slave to your anxiety, that's not good. He cares for you. That's your imagination. That is God. You are constantly, all you want is the best for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. When you really get in touch with who you are and what you're capable of, you'll start crying. You'll start realizing and being grateful for the immense power that you have within your heart, within your mind, and it's fucking amazing. So just like you care for yourself, he cares for you, your imagination cares for you. You wouldn't put yourself here if you were just meant to be tormented. That's just wrong. Be sober-minded and alert, right? This is a mental diet thing. We'll take it from Neville Goddard, right? Be sober-minded and alert. This means don't allow thoughts into your consciousness that you don't want to think about. And that doesn't mean if you're getting repeated thoughts or obsessive thoughts or things that are like, no. It doesn't mean you have to castigate yourself and admonish yourself and feel bad about the things that are going on. But what it does mean is like, just be a little more aware of what's going on. Be clear-minded, sober-minded, right? What do you want to experience? How do you want to feel? How do you want it to work? Just allow those things into your consciousness and allow that. When thoughts come up that you don't want to experience, be like, bing, 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 I don't want that. I don't like that. I don't think I need that in my life. It may be showing you some deeper aspect of yourself, but eventually you'll just transcend it. I've seen this time and time again, based on my own life, based on people who I've spoken to, based on a lot of people. Just in reality, they've learned this. They've learned that they actually have the ability to transcend any issue, any problem, anything that's going on in their lives, and by proxy, anyone else they're aware of. Anyone in your life who you have awareness of, you're responsible for. Do you understand that? It doesn't mean you're responsible for every aspect of their life, but it means if someone's going through a tough time, you have the capacity to heal them. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's talk about this devil stuff. Your adversary, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking someone to devour. Okay, the only word I take exception with here is adversary. The devil is not your adversary. The devil is not an evil lion coming to fuck your shit up. You are also the devil, right? This is the shadow aspect of your personality, and it serves a wonderful function. If you can make friends with your demons and your devils, they will serve you well. That roaring lion, do you know what he wants to devour? Your bullshit. He wants to devour your bullshit. He doesn't want to devour the good things in your life. He doesn't want to devour the bad or the pleasant things. He wants to devour the things that no longer serve you. This is the Lionsgate portal. This is this portal that opens up. It reveals your higher self. You integrate it into your world, into your being, and then you know how to use that destructive feminine principle to destroy what's going on, right? Do we know about female lions? They're the ones who actually do the hunting. The male lions don't do that shit. They just fight with each other like dinguses. The female lion is responsible for doing everything cool, right? So that is the feminine energy, devil, shadow energy. It's okay that it's feminine. It's okay that it's chaotic. Doesn't mean women are bad. Doesn't mean women are chaotic. They can be. So can men. But it does mean that this devil, it's not your adversary. It's your friend. Make friends with your demons. It's incredibly important that you do that, because if you have this internal schism that the devil is bad, that there's these people out there who are bad, there's these people who are out to get you, they're shitty people, they want to bring you down, you're gonna play out this scenario forever. I look at this a lot with Kanye West. I love Kanye. His Sunday service thing that I went to in LA was one of the best things, the best live performances I've ever seen. He's a genius. He's in touch with like some of the deepest, most feminine wisdom I've ever encountered. It's fucking amazing. But I do think he's made a bit of a mistake. And it's a common mistake that comes from religion. It's that God is outside of you. there's some person, some being outside of you who is trying to lift you up, and you need to only focus on that. And then there's this devil, and this devil is going to get you, and you got to be on guard for the devil, and the devil is bad, and he's trying to fuck your shit up, and he's walking around and he's throwing things in your way. No, that's not right. Both of these things are you. You are God and the devil, and embracing them both is incredibly important. If you don't embrace your shadow, your devil, it will run your fucking life. And you know what'll happen? You may think you're fucking running this shit like top notch, you're the best thing. And I don't say this to freak you out, but this is just a reminder to deal with your shadow stuff, right? You're supposed to cast light on it. Shadow isn't bad. It's there to show us the polarity of good, right? But if you really like resist, fight, push against this energy, yeah, it'll run your life. And guess what happens if you do that for hundreds and thousands of years? You come up with this character of the devil who's mean, who's bad, who's evil, and he wants to fuck your shit up, and it's not nice. And that's, that's fine. If you need to play out that lesson, play out that story in your life to recognize things, totally cool. No judgment, not a value judgment. I just recommend not doing that. Make friends. Make friends with your devils. Make friends with your demons. Own them. Figure out a way to transmute them. Can you do it through art? Can you do it through art? That's a really effective way with dealing with shadow material. Put it into your art, put it into your music, put it into whatever you're doing. It's very, very effective. Also, it's not as scary when you do that. You see that there's a function to it. It's not something that's there to kind of knock you off course. So yeah, the devil, not so bad. Pretty fucking amazing. I almost called this episode, You're the Devil. It's a little provocative, but it's also true. You're God and the devil. They're both you. It's very important for you to recognize that, because if you don't, like I said, the chances of you misapprehending who the devil is just like, it's going to go up. It's not going to feel good. You don't want to make other people devils in your life. Just own your own inner devil. It's fucking great. You'll enjoy it. Okay. What are the chances? But it looks like there's a seat saved for you at the magic table. Did you know that? You can come sit down at this magic table and do magic in the world. It's not reserved for other people. It's reserved for you. Really understand that. You're magic. You can do magic. You can do the most amazing, magical, miraculous things you've ever experienced. Don't think that it's just me. Don't think it's just other people who have done more than you. You have access to it at any time. Do you know what it would feel like to be a magical person? Do you know what it would feel like, if it's just in your imagination? Do you know what it would feel like if you were capable and actively doing magic all of the time? Do you? Okay, that means you have access to the feeling, so you can just embody that. You have my permission. You have your permission. So go ahead and do that. Okay. Be fearless and bold. This is really important when you're doing heavy, intense internal work. When I say heavy, not like heavy, like, but just like a lot, like you're picking up a lot of shit. You got to be fearless and bold. If you're not, as soon as that one thing or few things come along that challenge your conception of reality, you're going to be like, oh no, I don't know if I can do this. And that's okay. If you don't know you can do something, guess what? You're probably not going to be able to do it. But if you have this aspect of fearlessness and boldness, wow, that shit is actually going to work for you time and time again. Doesn't mean recklessness, doesn't mean obstinance, doesn't mean being so rigid that you can't. And it doesn't mean like you have to summon forth a fake or inauthentic sense of being fearless. Fearless doesn't mean you won't encounter fear. It just means you know how to deal with it, and you know how to transcend it. Also, be bold. Don't be a little puss. Don't be a little puss. You gotta go after this shit that you want. If you don't, trust me, the suffering that comes from not pursuing that which you desire is so much worse than actually going after something you want and dealing with a minor setback, right? We'll talk about persistence in a little bit, but persistence is like one of the most important things you can do. We'll talk about it now. Just persist in your imaginal acts, in your imagination, in what you believe to be true. This is called faith. It's persistence. It means let's say I imagine something and it's like, well, it doesn't look like that's happening. It looks like something else is happening. I can accept that. I can say, oh, well, it's not happening. And guess what? It will not happen. But if something that you really believe in, all of the external factors in the world could be lined up to show you that it's not true. It's impossible. There's no way it's going to happen. Not a fucking chance. If you go, whatever, external world, cool story, bro. If you say that, and you persist in what you're doing, it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. Also, don't get too caught up if you pin something down into like a linear time frame and it doesn't happen exactly then. Time is an illusion, so your conception of it isn't that great, right? Go back and try to remember things. Go back and try to future predict things. Go forward and trying to future predict things. You can accurately nail the feeling, but the exact circumstances and the outcome and the exact means, the bridge of incidents, as Neville Goddard calls it, you may not be able to nail that, but that's okay. If you remain vigilant and persistent and disciplined, this is where real discipline comes in. It's great to do an exercise routine or eat healthy or, whatever the fuck you're doing, meditate. That's great. That's wonderful. That's discipline. But we're really disciplined. The only place we need to apply it is with our consciousness, with our imagination. Just be persistent in what you are doing, and you will see the fruits of your labor. Always. There will always be a harvest time where you can do that. Okay. Imagine being Imagine being able to help whenever you want. Do you know what I mean by this? Let's say you see someone suffering in your life. Let's say they're going through a really hard time. Objectively, just the facts are rough, right? Very difficult. This could be an illness. This could be a family situation. This could be anything. Just very difficult. They're going through a rough time with money. You have the ability to help them. Do I mean that you go and give them money if they need money? No, absolutely not. Probably don't do that, right? Unless your intentions are very clear and very pure and they're capable of accepting that and understanding what it means. And if they're having money issues, they're probably not going to be. Doesn't mean you give them money. It means you just imagine them having money. You imagine them being healed. You imagine a very traumatic situation flipping around almost instantly and knowing that you have that power. Your imagination, when you build up this tenacity, this discipline, this fearlessness, this boldness, transcends everything. It certainly transcends someone who's stuck in something. Someone who's stuck in the mud is not going to be able to withstand the pure grace and love you send their way. So this is more of an advanced level imaginal acts. You really got to prove to yourself that this works in your life and trust it as an active principle. But once you do that, once you've stabilized this, right, you can then go on to helping people in your life, right? And there's nothing quite like the feeling of really being able to help someone with a big fucking issue, something that has owned their ass for the duration of their lives. There's nothing quite like being able to help them with your imagination. So just imagine being able to help whenever you want. You will scale up this mountain of power and love and grace as you do this. You'll recognize that there's no limitations to what you can imagine. So as you get the things in your life, the material things, the relationships, the experiences that you want, keep going up. It's really this meta programming, this meta awareness that you literally can do whatever you want. And you don't have to tell anyone about this. You don't go tell your friend. You don't say, well, the reason shit got better for you is because I imagined it. You don't have to be a fucking weirdo about it. I do this all the time for people in my life. And I don't think I ever really tell anyone, oh, I imagined that for you. Do you know how many people don't even know? People don't even know all of the things that I've imagined for them because I set the root level intention that they're happy, that they're fulfilled, that they're content, that they're powerful, that they're healthy, all of these things. And you just go, okay, great. Now they are. Just let it play out. So just imagine being able to help whenever you want. Learn to live in your imagination morning, noon, and night. This doesn't mean we don't engage with the world. Engaging with the world is fucking awesome. That's why we're here. We don't negate that ever. This is why we're here. But if you learn to live in your imagination morning, noon, and night, you're doing it right. It kind of rhymed, didn't it? That's really important. Don't get swayed by the external world. Enjoy it. Love it. Live in it. Experience it. But don't let it fucking influence or dictate what is going on in your life. That's not great. And if that is happening to you, recognize the reason you're going through that is, again, so you can experience that opposite polarity of being in control of your life. And I know some people don't like that word. It feels wrong. Control of my life. How can I control my life? There's so many factors and things that go on that really just I have no control over. I don't have control over who's president. I don't have control over, whether I get my stimulus check. I don't have control of who wants to hire me. I don't have control of who's going to love me. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. But you have control over yourself first. And when you understand that, then these things start to funnel into your life like magic. It's so weird. It's like, why is this happening? Then you'll recognize This entire time, you felt powerless and you felt like you were being subject to other people or other things in the world. The only reason you went through that is to recognize when you transcend it how fucking good it feels to recognize the truth. It's amazing. I just wrote Joe Biden. I already spoke about him. I don't know. It's just like, dude, really? That's my response to someone who's like, vote for. Also, I like the people, I think I've spoken about this, who are like, get out and vote. You got to go register to vote. Register to vote. All those people were telling you to do is go register and vote for Joe Biden. What if I register and vote and I vote for Trump? Is that what you wanted? Probably not. So just be aware. Also, like, I saw Tim Dillon, great comedian, Jess's friend, talk about political pundits. This dude, Sean King, I don't want to get judgmental. I don't want to do value judgments on people, but the guy has somewhat rubbed me the wrong way for the duration of his career. And Tim Dillon put this amazing juxtaposition of his two positions for Sean King up. And Sean King's like I don't know what he is, fucking activist, I guess. He's just kind of a dingus posing as an activist. And like 2 years ago, he's like, Kamala Harris is the worst. She's just a police lackey. You know, I'll never support someone here. And then like as soon as Joe Biden picks Kamala, he's like, that's it. I love Kamala Harris. This is the most progressive ticket I've ever seen in my life. Don't believe these people. Don't believe someone whose job it is to tell you what is going on in the world. You determine that. This doesn't mean you just like fucking don't pay attention to things in the world, but use your own intuition. Your intuition is far more valuable than someone else telling you the way it is, including me. If everything I say sounds wrong, don't listen to me. That's not for you. Use your intuition. Figure out what's right. This is one of my favorite things about my relationship with Denise is like, we don't just accept what we say to each other. If it feels off, we will fucking sit there and talk about it for fucking 4 hours, sometimes very aggressively. But it's to sharpen our own imaginations. It's to sharpen our own consciousness. So just recognize like you really get to determine what your perspective on situations are. That's why I confidently shit on Joe Biden. He seems like a douchebag to me. Do I mean he's like a douchebag forever? Am I binding him to the role of douchebag? No, I hope not. I don't think so. But all of the evidence he's presented leads me to believe he would not be a good leader. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's a bad person. His actions have certainly been bad. Lots of people's are. Anyone who aspires to be president and in a position like that, I question their ability to recognize how this world works. It is an external power position that comes with a lot of self-sacrifice in the not good kind of way, not in like an altruistic, benevolent way, but in a way that you kind of sacrifice your internal ethics and morals. And like you could be saying, well, there's been good presidents. Yeah, there have been. They usually get shot in the head. That's usually what happens if there's someone with a good moral compass who understands the golden rule and they rise to a power position. There's nothing wrong with being in a power position. Listen, I'm in Turkey, right? This guy Erdogan is a dictator. He's a dictator. He's an authoritarian regime. He's cozying up to the Muslims. Am I getting in trouble for saying this? Nah, it's not coming up. But, he is. And a lot of people from the outside looking in would be like, well, this is horrible. There's freedoms not going on. There's restrictions. Someone over here just spoke about a local congressman, someone's dad, and on Facebook, and they put him in jail for a day. Like, there's some fucking trade-offs. But I will tell you this. The infrastructure of this country is phenomenal. Compared to the United States, it's way better. It's actually like shit works. Bridges go up, roads get fixed, stadiums go up. And, you can say, well, that's the trade-off you pay for an authoritarian regime. Sure. And I don't know the ins and outs, and I don't know what daily life is always like here in Turkey for everyone. But what I do know, it's never as clear cut as we like to think it is. So just be aware that your opinion of matters, if it's not based on your experiences and seeing things, for your own internal impressions of those things, don't just rely on what other people are saying. This goes to the political pundit stuff. They're hacks for the most part. It's very easy to get rewarded for opinions that will be validated, right? Whether this means you're an anti-racism activist who's just constantly going to be shitting on everyone who exhibits any behavior you think is racist, you're going to get rewarded for that. Whether you're a white supremacist who thinks all fucking minorities are pieces of shit and they're the worst people, you're going to get rewarded for that. The harder thing to do is take a nuanced approach and recognize there's validity to every opinion, right? Do I mean that there's validity to being a white supremacist? No, I don't mean that there's validity that you can just be a racist asshole, but there is some valid aspect of what those people are feeling that's real. Maybe it's their sense of security. Maybe it's their identity being blown away. Maybe it's just a fear-based defensive move, but it's based on some trauma that they experience. So there's always some validity in what people are saying. It doesn't mean the facts or the things they're saying are valid. It just means there's some energy that needs to be honored. And if you can do that with nuance and subtlety, you're probably going to get more out of the experience than just reacting full sail towards something like, ugh, fuck that. I hate that. Blah, what a piece of shit. Me. It's just not worth it, including Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden isn't the worst person in the world. He's just boring and fucking crazy. And I don't know, man. I don't know about that Joe Biden guy. That's all I'm saying. How many times am I going to mention him? I don't know. I went about the job of sowing thoughts and feelings. Officially, Tried and True by Ween is my favorite song. It's just, you want to go listen to a blueprint of how to run this shit correctly, go listen to Tried and True by Ween. You go about the job of sowing thoughts and feelings, and that then creates your reality. That's the whole fucking thing. For real. For real. All right, we spoke about the Bible, we spoke about the Torah, any religious work, any characters. We'll just recap this. It's you. It's always you. It's not other people. You think Jesus was another person? Cool story, bruh. No. It's you. It's always you. You crucify yourself. You bind yourself to this world. You cross yourself. You nail yourself to this world. You are Jesus. You're nailing yourself to this world and you suffer. You fucking suffer until you get it. Oh, I did this to me? Oh, I put myself here? Oh, suffering is optional? What? Suffering is optional. The Buddha said that life is suffering. Well, Buddha also taught the fourth noble truth. The end of suffering? That's a real thing that we can achieve, and be, well, that's for the afterlife. That's for some other thing that's going on. Okay, guys, let me just try to break this down as clearly as possible. We're in the midst of a transition. I'm not going to deny it. There's a lot of destruction and death around us, but here's what's happening. Worlds are colliding. This spiritual, etheric, miraculous, magical world is ramming into ours. The Lionsgate portal gave us a clear picture. It's like, you ever see Stargate? You ever see that Stargate where you can walk through and you're in another world and you can see the other world when you walk through it before there? There's also these filters on Snapchat where you can do that now. That's what's going on. We just got a huge fucking glimpse of the world that's coming in, and a lot of us chose to walk through that, experience it, come back through the Stargate and say, hey guys, this shit is happening. It's really happening. You don't have to believe it's happening. It's not like what's going on with crypto. I've known for about 6 or 7 years that crypto is going to make a lot of people very wealthy. It's going to make a lot of people very familiar with what it feels like to be abundant, both in terms of actually possessing and having wealth, but also giving it away. I've known this. When crypto coins and crypto coins, Jesus Christ, when crypto goes up, Bitcoin and all these other things go up, I look like a fucking genius. When they go down, everyone thinks I'm a fucking moron. Do I think I'm a fucking moron? No, I know what's going on. I know exactly what this shit is. It's fucking math at the end of the day. But I've seen the future, right? For real. I've actually seen, more importantly, I've felt the future. So what's actually happening here is these worlds are smashing into each other. They are overlapping. It's like a Venn diagram, but it's just going more and more. And more is going to overlap. So for people who want to cling to the reality where magic doesn't happen, miracles don't happen, things that transcend the laws of physics as we know them don't happen, they're going to be freaked out. They're going to be really freaked out. They're going to get more and more freaked out because the way they've understood the world is going to make less and less sense. And usually how this happens is their conception of the world is obliterated, right? Whether this is a political person getting appointed or elected that they didn't think in any way was going to happen, or maybe getting devastated in a relationship or devastated in anything, something happens that shakes up your conception of the world, everything that you knew was true. Until you understand this as an active and useful principle, it's going to feel not great. But when you embrace it, when you go through it, when you embrace your dysentery, when you embrace your tick bites, when you embrace all the gnarly shit in your life, you don't have to deal with it anymore. It's like turning and facing the monster who's chasing you in a dream. Once you turn and face it, you're like, oh, this is a kitten? Fuck, man. I thought this was a fucking big ass thing. Also, I had this dream the other day where there was this manta ray underneath the water. It was huge. I don't know what that means, but it was so fucking cool. So many water dreams recently, by the way. Just so much water flooding into this world. Psychic, right, waters. These intuitive, emotional waters are drowning us in this world. They're drowning us. But if you know how to build a boat, better yet, an ark, you're fucking good. You're totally good. You float, you coast. It's nice. You may get rocked back and forth sometimes. There may be a storm here to here, but you got a very solid boat. You know how to build that shit. God told you how to build that. Who's God? It's your imagination. What are you building? The boat that carries you from your experiences to your experiences. You move through states that you want to embody. Okay? What are you tonight imagining? This is Neville Goddard thing. What are you tonight imagining? I don't care what it is. One day you are going to be shocked beyond your wildest dreams when you see the other side. You understand? If you actively use your imagination to summon forth the feelings and experiences you would like to experience and you persist in them, you will experience them and you will be shocked. You'll go, oh shit, if this is true, what does this mean for everything in my life? And it's fucking amazing. So just what are you imagining tonight as you go to sleep? It doesn't take anything more than directing your consciousness. I know I've gone over these elaborate techniques a ton of times. This is what I do. I just imagine the thing and expect it to happen. And if I need a little recalibration, I do it at night and I do it consistently and I do it persistently. And then guess what? It happens. Do you want to hear someone say they love you so much from the deepest, purest part of their heart? Then do that. Do you want abundance that you can give away to people and create a better world and better systems for people you care about and love, which should be everyone? Then do that. It's not hard. Just pick the things you want. Every vision has its own appointed hour and it will flower. If it seems long, wait for it. It is sure and it will not be late. This means that when you imagine something and you have a vision, it will happen. You can fight it. You can push it away for lifetimes, for millennia, for millennia. Is millennia a word? That doesn't sound right. Millennia can't be a word. It will eventually happen. This is the idea of persistence. This is the idea of really understanding that when you have a feeling, an emotion, a vision, it absolutely will happen. The more you fight with it, the longer it'll take. But if you want it to come quickly, just accept it. That's it. It's literally accepting something. It's not even like going out and getting it. You have everything. It's just being like, oh, I accept it. Oh, I accept it. That's it. All right, into the lion's den. This is where we are now, friends. The lion is roaming about, ready to devour all of your shit. Let it. Don't fight it. Don't make it like it's going to eat up other people's shit. We're in the lion's den. People are going to get what's coming. The evil are going to be deemed evil and they will suffer and go to hell. Blah. If you think that, guess where you're going for a little bit. You're going to one-way ticket to hell. Well, not one way. It's a round-trip ticket, but they might keep canceling your flight on the way back. Just don't do that. Don't assume that like this idea of karma or justice has to do with the bad getting punished, because then you're basically just punishing yourself. This person will get what's coming to him. What a piece of shit. You will experience that, not the other person. Not the other person. You don't want that. That's not what you want. Okay? This world is a shadow cast by the illuminated light of your awareness. Important to understand this. This world, which seems so real, so tangible, so everything, right? Pretty much. It's a shadow. It's not real. It's a hologram. It's a simulation. It's a matrix. It's a dream. Whatever you want to call it. It's not real. It's dead. Dead. It's already done. It's already been determined. Doesn't mean it's not malleable. Doesn't mean you can't summon forth new experiences, but you already did this. What you are now experiencing as listening to me talk on a podcast to you, you've already summoned it forth. These words that I think I'm making up on the spot, I've already said them. I've already thought of all of this. This is why we get these long... I saw on TikTok this guy who had like a deja vu that was like 15 seconds and like you can see his mind getting blown. He's like, it only usually lasts for 3 seconds. Why is it lasting so long? Because he's just clicking on that he remembered this. This is why deja vu is like, a lot of people ask, what is it? What is it? What is it? It's just you remembering that you imagined this for yourself and you're like, what the fuck? What? I feel like I've already done this. You did. You might have done it a million times. This world is dead. It's okay. You ever see dead people walk around? You ever see zombies? That's you. That's everyone else. That's cool. It shouldn't be bad. It's not bad. Not like you're an evil zombie who wants to eat brains. I guess in some way it is kind of like you want to eat brains, but it's not really. It just means that you have the ability, you have this power in you to shape your reality. And it's cool as fuck. It's super fun. But that's why I say this and remind you of this as much as possible. Because if we take the external world as like something that's going to create something or going to prompt something, we're taking the effect. We're not taking the cause. We're not getting to the root of it. We're addressing the symptom. What everyone hates about Western medicine so much, or dislikes, I should say, about Western medicine, is that they treat the symptom almost all the time. They don't treat the actual root disorder. This is why Chinese medicine and a lot of Ayurvedic medicine and a lot of this other stuff, energy healing, it deals with the root stuff. It deals with the emotions, the trauma, the shame, all these things that create the physical illnesses. If we're just cutting things out of people, it's going to keep coming back. You ever do that? Yeah. Okay. I did it. I am doing it, and I will continue to do it until that which I have done is perfectly externalized within my world. Such an amazing sentence from Neville Goddard there. I did it. You live from the end. You did it. You already did it. You don't have to do it. You're not going to try to do it. You're not going to work hard to do it. You're not going to practice to do it. Let me practice my meditation until my mind is clear. Okay, cool. You did it. You're done. It's been done. Sometimes I feel like people who get too caught up in a specific modality of how to do things, we'll use meditation as an example again. They make the mistake of thinking that meditation will lead them to some particular insight. Wrong. It's the other way around. This world is meditation. You don't have to close your eyes to experience that as true. This world is your meditation. Being alive and experience and being aware of things is meditation. Don't fool yourself into thinking that when you sit down and close your eyes, or, with your back straight in lotus posture, that's something different than what you're doing with your eyes straight open walking around. Maybe you need practice to recognize that. Maybe that's why you're sitting down and doing all this stuff. But this is meditation. This is meditation. Just for the people who I know resonate with this, you do not have to sit down and meditate. I will say that. Do you know how unpopular of opinion this is? You know when people preach the value of sitting down and meditation? Some very smart people. Look at those people. Take an honest, hard look at A, what they're doing in their lives, and B, where they're operating from. Are they happy? Are they fulfilled? Have they learned how to transcend suffering for the majority of their lives? If not, don't necessarily take what they're saying as gospel, right? It's not a spell. It's not a God spell. It's not gospel, right? A God spell is recognizing that this world is all meditation. Everything is valid. Everything is something for you to not ruminate. Everything is there for something you to think about and, feel about and all these things. This world is meditation. It's a dead world, but you did it. You've already done it. You are doing it, and you'll continue to do it and continue to did it until that what you have done is perfectly externalized within my world, within your world, not without into your world, not out there in the world, within your world. You understand how important that is? This is your world. It comes from the inside out. That's how it works. Live your life in a sublime spirit of confidence and determination. And I'd also say expectation. A sublime spirit. Do you know what sublime is? Not just a cool band from the 90s. Sublime is this really calm, blissful, easygoing, chill state of confidence and determination, aka persistence. Embody that. You want to know what you should set where you're, I'll give you some tips about imagination. It's cool to imagine all the stuff we want, all the things we want, all the experiences we want. Set a meta level. Set a imaginal act of being balanced, of being fulfilled, of being in bliss, of being in ecstasy, of being sublime. When you do that, your foundation is stable enough for you to do everything else pretty fucking easily, right? That's it. Set those meta states for yourself. Set those states that encompass, that are like an umbrella that everything else goes under. That your umbrella of bliss shields you from all the rain of dissatisfaction, dissonance, disharmony, right? Set that. Man's faith in God is measured by his confidence in himself. That's it. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in your imagination? And do you believe in yourself? That's it. That's the only correlation between those two. If you think God is something outside of you, spirit is something outside of you, universe is something outside of you, aliens are something outside of you, then you don't understand the people who have actually access to that stuff, right? Sure, you can engage with whatever narrative you want. You can believe in the spaghetti monster or whatever the fuck it is. People make fun of God. I don't want to say I feel bad for people who think God is a trick or like a thing to, that is meant to control other people. It's just they're not recognizing their own inherent power. Someone told them that God is someone outside of them. They said I don't like that, so God doesn't exist. Ooh, you gonna be freaked out. And everyone's getting this test now with Corona and other things in their lives. Like, you're gonna be challenged. You're gonna be challenged. Your faith will be tested in many ways, especially if you haven't strengthened it to the point where, the test is like really easy and you know how to ace it, right? But it will be challenged for those people who are like, I'm atheistic, there is no God. It's like, well, not only are you wrong, but you're negating your own inherent power. And that's usually pretty uncomfortable, what we would call suffering. So your faith in God is measured by your confidence in yourself. Any desire is yours to fulfill if you will not lose confidence in I am. Attach anything to it and it will grow. Your sense of I am. How do you know you? I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think. I am, therefore I exist. I am is God. I am is God. I am is God. That's the easiest thing for you to remember. Just your awareness, that is God. Period. That's it. I don't know of any other God that I've ever encountered that is real. For real. All of the deities, all of the gods and goddesses, they're all real too, but they're real because we believe they're real. And they're deep archetypal kind of collective unconscious beliefs that, individually we're not going to really fight too much against to disprove. There's no Zeus. There's no Aphrodite. So Jesus, keep fighting against that. They're these deeply embedded. It's like being like, there's no world, there's no earth. And people do that too. So it's always possible. Okay. Hold on. Sorry, Denise walked in. I can't do these solo casts in front of other people. It's like fucking masturbating or something. Well, that's not really a good example, but you can't do it in front of people. At least I can, right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. What? Also check, I was on Karen Rontowski's podcast, Me and Paranormal You. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. That was a fun conversation we had a month or so ago. I think I'm done. I think that's it. I think we've done a solid hour on this stuff. No, I'll talk about one more thing, because this came up, basically got like 3 or 4 versions of the same question in the first of the August Patreon Q&As. Do you not know what that is? Every month I do 2 question and answer sessions. I think we're going to make the second one in real time, and we'll do the first ones with the recorded questions, but I do 2 every month on Patreon, and it's interesting to see the themes come up that people are dealing with, that how they kind of coalesce around things independently, seemingly independent of each other. So one theme this week was physical symptoms, right? And I thought it was interesting that I had just gone through dysentery, and a lot of other people were going through like illnesses, but it doesn't have to be. It can be weight loss, weight gain, acne, all of these things were coming up. And so I just thought it'd be worthwhile to go over what I said to people. And this way you don't have to sign up if you don't want to. I'm not trying to deny you information, but it'll come after what I talk about there. So just the only thing that ever worked for me with physical symptoms is truly understanding and believing that nothing is outside the limits of your imagination, the power of your consciousness. There's nothing, especially physical stuff. Physical stuff, though, is pretty crystallized. For something to be experienced in the physical world, it takes it takes a lot of conviction to believe it. So when we have a narrative that, well, I've been fat my whole life, or I've had bad skin my whole life, that's pretty tough. That's pretty fucking like locked in. But what I need you to understand is that it's not actually. It's just a narrative that you've chosen to believe in. Is there a lot of historical evidence that this is how things have worked? Maybe. Sure. But it doesn't mean it's any stronger to not negate that, but to just be like, no, that's not true. I actually have perfect skin. I actually know my perfect body, and I will embody that. That's a dumb way of saying that. But basically, this is what I did for myself. I had a reading this past week, and she was like, I hear you talk about you're doing more live streams now because you look good. And what did you look like before where you felt like you didn't look good? I felt like I weighed 25 pounds heavier. I felt like I, had less hair. I felt like these things were true. I felt like they were outpicturing in my world. No matter how much I railed against them, changed my diet, exercised more, ate the right foods for hair growth. Nothing changed those things. Nothing at all, because I didn't believe that it was, because I felt these ways. But if you feel the feeling of being your perfect weight, if you can see yourself in your imagination mirror the way you are and accept it and not fight that and not reject it, watch what happens. Now, I'll also point out there is a connection to the physical. It's not just some magical thing that happens instantly. Can it? Yes, but it doesn't always. What does happen sometimes is, for me, when I was like ready to walk into my best body, I started exercising more. I started not eating on certain days, not because I set the intention that I'm going to fast today, but some days I just wasn't hungry and I had a cucumber and that was it. So these things tend to work themselves out in the way they're supposed to. I'll use my hair as an example. My hair, right? It's objectively, I have less of it than I did 10 years ago. There's no doubt about it. You can look at pictures. There's the objective proof. Subjectively, I know I have a full head of hair in 5, 10, 20, 30 years. How is that possible? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if it's transplants. I don't give a shit if it's eating a special tree bark that makes it grow. I don't care if it's my imagination and it just grows back in front of people's faces to prove how fucking amazing imagination. It doesn't matter to me. I just accept it. I accept it as a reality. Therefore, it will be a reality. Do doubts come up? Do anxieties come up? Sure, but you keep chipping away at them until you're just like, you know what? I don't have time for this. That's the correct approach. I don't have time for this. I don't really want to direct any more attention towards this thing that's already done. It's already done. So if you're going through physical stuff, whether it's an illness, physical symptoms, weight loss stuff, you want to get stronger, you want to have a better immune system, a better metabolism, just pick the things that you really are important and accept that they're healed for real. That's it. I look forward to hearing from a lot of you about how this actually works. And again, I don't talk about anything on this podcast, really, or any other aspect of my life that I don't have direct experience in. If I'm talking about something like this, it's very easy to tell when I'm bullshitting. I don't sound like this. I'm not talking from a direct experience. I don't have anecdotes and stories about what actually worked. The proof is in the pudding, basically. That's what I'm saying. So just accept that. Accept that you can transcend any physical things. A lot of us are going through this right now. Your best version of yourself has your best body, has your best immune system, has your best everything. So you have evidence that you're not there. That's just negate it. You did it. You're done. You're doing it. Accept it. That's the really thing. That's the main thing of this episode. Just accept this. Accept what you really know to be true. And all you need to know for something to be true is that you have a desire for it. That's it. That's the only thing that created this world. Even if you want to look at it the most boring, lame dash-o fucking way of doing it, that like before anything can come into this world, someone has the idea and feeling that it's possible. Nothing else gets done, right? Just in like the very boring way, like I have to think of something before I do it. Sure, you can make it infinitely more magical. You're going to experience things you've never experienced before, right? Not just like the things out in the world, but internal states of consciousness. You're going to click into some that you've never experienced before, and they're going to be amazing. Do you accept that? I think you should. I think it's worthwhile too. Big shout out to my sponsors over at Ned, putting this one at the end of the episode. We'll see how this goes. They're fucking loving me right now. They just keep giving me more money because people keep buying this shit because it's fucking good and they use it and they keep getting it because it's fucking awesome. CBD, full spectrum hemp oil. Go to helloned.com. Use the code SYNC, SYNC at checkout. You get 20% off. 20% you're off your order. It used to be 15, now it's 20. Get the full spectrum hemp oil. That's the best shit. Right? Go check it out. The Patreon is up and active. You can find details for this on syncpodcast.com. There's a tab, but it's really fucking easy to understand what's going on there. We're doing the Discord. Oh my God. First of all, let me just say this. First of all, I say first of all after I've already spoken about it. That's fucking silly. But the CryptoSync Discord server, which you immediately get access to when you join any tier of the Patreon, let's just say Noel, my friend Noel, has been putting in the fucking work. He has found several coins in the past week that like whatever, what does it cost? $7, $13, $22? Yeah. Don't worry about the money. You're not going to be asked out. I know people who have made like 50 times, almost everyone who's been in the server the past few weeks like knows this. Your fees for whatever you're paying for Patreon or insurance in your life or houses or mortgage, like you're good. Shit is popping off in crypto. We're pretty early still. I won't say that forever, but we're pretty fucking early. So go check that out. That's also patreon.com/synchronicity. Readings are open for Leo season. We'll be flipping over to Virgo season soon. That's a much more attention to detail, much different energy. We'll see if we'll do Virgo readings. We may do some other stuff. That's going on. syncpodcast.com/readings. All the shit is there. I don't even gotta fucking pimp this stuff. Go find it if you want to find it. I know it's good. You know it's good. It's when you're ready, you go and you join the community of cool people. That's it for this week. I did it. And I'm pooping normal. Turds achieved. Turd level achieved. That's it. I love you. Happy imagining.